Okay, guys, this one to my review of A Quiet Place Part 2. I definitely think it is a step down from the first film, but I think it takes the good elements and it's still there. See, it doesn't. See, whereas great sequels take the great elements of the first film and improve upon it, this doesn't really improve upon it. I just think it's just the same in terms of the level of quality of it. But I think what made the first film work was that this concept was so innovative and so interesting. This idea of kind of a horror film with complete silence and the natural tension there. But by the time we get to the second film, we've seen it all. We've seen kind of the doing this, the kind of in a way the shtick and the gimmick of, oh, you have to, can't scream when you get injured. Oh, the baby can't, cry. We've seen it all in the first film where they don't really take that innovative concept in a new direction, is maybe my point. But it's still interesting. That innovative concept hasn't worn off. It just they didn't really take it into a new direction. I did love the world building, and my favorite scene was that opening scene, those kind of long takes. Very interesting, kind of interesting seeing how it all started. So again, the world building of this kind of interesting world was great in getting more into the people. But at the same time, what I loved about the first film was it felt like a very isolated event. Like it's just about a family trying to survive. And they do try to expand, and I think it works well enough. And this film is about 95 minutes, but it could have used a little bit more length in that we really go from one element to the next, to the next, to the next, with not a lot of time to breathe. And where it's like it's not like one of those films where they just gave us a bunch of stuff that wasn't important. Every scene they gave us was important. It was just that maybe they needed more to give these impactful elements time to breathe. But then at the same time, that makes it more intenseful. Literally going from big moment to big moment. That can make it more intenseful. And I do like the ending, kind of the simultaneous, cuts backs between both kids. Because this really at the core of it, while the first film was really about the parents, this film was really about the kids. And that was interesting. And they bring in a new male lead in Cillian Murphy's character. I forgot his name. But it's like he doesn't just play John Krasinski, he doesn't just take over his role and replace him. He's different. He's a lot, whereas Krasinski's character Lee was a lot more heroic. This is a lot more kind of gray area where he's, not necessarily the good guy, but he's kind of like that soldiery general type, like strict and, on point. But at times he can be heroic, and so that was kind of cool seeing. So overall, I did like it, but it was a step down from that kind of immense quality of the first film. But it's hard, to make a sequel that improves upon the original, because especially when the original is A Quiet Place, and it's hard because when you love a film so much because it's unique, it's hard to make a sequel and stay unique. You know what I mean? And this film kind of fails in that a bit. But it was still intense, still, at times scary. But it had all the heart and emotion that the first film had, but I mean a little bit less. There was no big, emotional scene like Lee sacrifice himself, but it was still good.